Hey everybody, it's Heather K, your baby vegan. I have a little bit of a success story to tell you. Remember the other day when I made my gosh, I look really burnt today. My sweet potato roti. This one looks burnt. They're I guess they're still kind of good. Like they're very pliable. Look, I'm folding it and it's not breaking. Still a lot of flour. But got to overcome that. And I'm storing it in this container because I don't have a pita container, which I'm going to get. One of these days if I find a store that sells it. But my success story about being a little baby vegan is I had to cook meals for my son. I was cooking a big supper and they wanted a quick lunch. Well, you know, like, didn't I feed you yesterday? So you got to feed them every day, more than once. They're looking for 3 meals a day just like I am. And so my sons and I have gotten to the point where we do eat different meals because they're not on a weight loss journey like I am. They're not on the vegan journey that I'm on. But I didn't have any wraps for them in the house for my older son. And so I seen him around the kitchen. I said, can I help you? He says, I'd like something to eat. And so I said, let me cook for you. What would you like? And I said, I made this sweet potato wrap, the roti, and they love my roti that is made with white flour. I said, but I made this one with sweet potato, and I made it with spelt flour, and I said, it's very healthy, and the remainder of the flour gets stored in the fridge, and I showed it to him, and he says, I like one. I like to try it. And it's like one of the biggest things, and it warms my heart, and I am so happy, is for my sons and my family to try a little bit of my journey. And I did tell my sister I wouldn't want to get tofu, and she didn't take me shopping. And I was hoping we'd stop at the grocery store and get some tofu, but it was too early in the day, and it is Sunday after all. And she goes, yuck. I said, you know, these days, you know, they make tofu taste like anything you want. Like, you'd be surprised about tofu. And I did offer to cook for her, and she kind of declined, but that's okay. And I did tell my brother I saw a recipe online. Because apparently on the ketos, did I say it? Is it ketos? You know, when they go carb-free. He said, you know what? Every 5 weeks we get to reset ourselves. I said, really? What do you do? He says, we get to have carbs. I said, well, what is your choice of carbs? He says, pizza. So in 5 weeks, that's going to be his reward. He's going to have pizza. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I said, I know how to make chicken wings out of tofu. And I don't. I never cooked it. I just, I'm gonna. I've seen the vegan zombie. I saw the vegan zombie make 3 different types of chicken wings out of tofu. And I said, I'll cook it for you, right? And he says, no, thank you. I want real wings. And it's like, okay. I'm not going to push my way on him. I just put it out there and offer. And that's okay. They don't need to join me. I'm not going to be, like I said, this activist or this person that's going to jam down their throat, you know, about animals. I'm hoping that I can just gently, they can see my success because I'm hoping to transform my body by getting all the toxins and all the chemicals and all the crap out of it. And I think there's a lot of health benefits to a plant-based diet, which I'm still exploring. That's why I call myself the baby vegan. And I'm just so happy that my son actually tried something. And my son, he works at a gym, and he recently got his weight in control. He's very active. I mean, very, very active. And he's smart about what he eats. He's really never really struggled, even when he lost a few pounds. He was mentioning that his friends are kind of making fun of him that he's getting too thin. But I talked about this before on my journey, 100-day weight loss challenge journey, that people want you just the way you are. They're happy knowing you as being a bigger person. And it goes the same for the vegan, the vegan journey that I'm on, being baby vegan. They're going to like the old me that would eat cake with an egg in it. So I'm the bread maker of the family. I also sometimes make very large birthday cakes. And I'm going to substitute flax seeds, turn it into the egg whites I need for the egg consistency, and make them some vegan cakes. So, and they're not even going to know. So, because I guarantee you, they're not watching my channel. So I get to giggle because I make my own salt, sea salt. I don't know if that's harming any animals, but I just prefer natural, home, good meals. I still want to make my vegan butter and offer that around the house for my sons. And So like give them no alternative. I switched my sons from margarine to butter, and then this is before I was on my vegan journey. And so now I've seen, and I've been studying this for a year. I've seen them how to make vegan butter, and I went out and I bought all the silicone molds, and I just got to buy some more of the ingredients, and I could buy it, but I just enjoy making it, so I have an abundance of stuff around. So that's just how I am. That's just how I was raised. So today's success story is my son was trying some of my food, and I'm just so happy to report it, because isn't that my number one wish? Not only to get this journey to where I am, because like for the full year, I've been on and off, and my doctor called me a gifted vegan, and a lot of people was like, oh, wow, gifted vegan, what's that? And it's just, I'm not in people's faces like until I'm discovering myself, because I find myself on the road stuck or at people's houses and not prepared. And, you know, usually you need to take your own lunches and stuff. It's, you know, you really need to focus on this. And so I'm thinking, if you're good enough to cook it for me, I'm good enough to eat it. Right? And I know there's going to come to a point where that is going to change. But until I learn how to make meals and be creative and find out what I like, because right now it's just all been a study and it's been a desire. And I am sampling it, and I've had a lot of failures. But you know what? I like failing. I like learning the hard way. So, like I said, this is the second time I made sweet potato roti. The first time I made it, the flour was just not right. The consistency was not right. I was doing something wrong. And at this point, I want to make it gluten-free. It's why I put the spelt flour in it. And the reason why I bought the spelt flour is because they had some flour there. It was like $15 for a little tiny amount of it. And healthy eating should not cost a whole lot of money. So, like I said, if I did make some gluten-free cookies for some people down at the river. They're water protectors. I got a bunch of groups that are water protectors. Yes, I am a water walker, and I take great pleasure in preserving the environment. And so one of the ladies, she had an allergy to gluten, so I made her gluten-free cookies. And I made my own oat flour and I grinded in my coffee grinder, and she really thanked me. And I said, now don't share those with anyone. Those are for you, because I made them other stuff. And she says, no, and she was so nice. She shared everybody, but I'm thinking, but you sit there when they buy stuff that's not for you, you can't eat it, and I really wanted her to take them with her, but she was so nice and she shared them. So they've gone off to explore other things, and I'm hoping they make their way back home here, that maybe I can give them some vegan cake, and when they come back to this way and start just coming back home. And they have contacted me on Facebook, so I'm happy that they're making their way back to the Atlantic Canada. They're very close. They're a couple of them are as far as Quebec, and they're out as far as BC, so they're right across Canada. Anyways, that's just, I just like to ramble and go on, but my message today is that I feel like exposure leads to contamination, and my son gave it a try, and I said, what do you think? And even though we were kind of passing, he gave me a thumbs up, and you know what? I looked in the food, like when he brings the food back, I can tell in the compost what he left behind. And you know what? He ate it. He ate it all. That's success. See you next time. Press like, subscribe, and don't forget notifications.